Hello again, you're watching Sky News. Negotiations are continuing to free 2 hostages held by Islamic State. A deadline given by the Islamist group is expecting to expire very shortly if it's not already passed. Jordan says it's willing to hand over an Iraqi al-Qaeda operative in exchange for one of the hostages. A Jordanian pilot. Well, with us, security and risk consultant Olivier Guita. Hello to you, Olivier.
Hello, okay.
This is incredibly confusing, complex, fast-moving, and then hours when we know nothing at all. What do you anticipate will happen?
Look, it seems very obvious that when ISIS made the choice of changing their demands for the Japanese hostage from $100 million apiece to the release of one of their former operatives, that they had in mind that this will go through. The issue at this point is that if it's confirmed that the exchange has taken place, the fact that it sets a precedent is very worrisome, because right there you have possibly a modus operandi for ISIS to kidnap more foreign hostages and ask, for instance, the UK or the US for an exchange of prisoners, which doesn't...
Prisoner exchanges are nothing new, are they? It's just that they're new with Islamic State.
That is correct. But other groups linked to Al-Qaeda, such as Al-Qaeda in Islamic Maghreb, have done a combination of cash ransom and prisoner exchange. The fact that ISIS was very pragmatic to change their modus operandi tells you that they have the feeling that some Western nations can put the pressure on Arab allies to release those ex-operatives. And that's what could be happening in the future with UK and US
hostages. I mean, we've seen the deals with Israel has done previously for one soldier for 1,000 or more prisoners that have been held by them. But as far as the Jordanian pilot is concerned, we've seen that Islamic State have introduced him into this negotiation, if only by having his photograph held up by the Japanese hostage. What do you think is going to happen as far as he is concerned? Because he is they're both incredibly valuable to each of their separate countries, but the fact that he is a fighter pilot probably adds a different dimension, does it?
Yes, very much so, and also the fact that he is an Arab rather than a foreigner for them is going to have another dimension. But you're correct, it's still very murky what's going to happen with the release of the Japanese hostage and the Jordanian pilot, but it will be a way for them to say, look, we're sticking to our word, and getting them more credibility in the world of jihadists.
Now, it depends, I suppose, on what side of the fence you're sitting, Olivier, as to your view on this this prisoner exchange, this handover of hostages, if you will, because the argument is that this woman has killed many people or been responsible for the murder of many people, despite the fact that her own suicide belt did not go off. There she is pictured at the time after it failed to explode back in November of 2005. She's been held ever since. The Jordanian pilot was on a mission over northern Syria when we saw what happened to him. He was shot down. Both could be potentially released to kill again.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. But by pointing out the importance of that woman, when you see how the attacks in 2005 had an impact on Jordanian society, shows you how much pressure was put on the Jordanian government to release her. And that is something that we have to keep in mind, is that the West is now putting pressure on some of our allies in the region to do whatever we want them to do.
Olivier Guita, great to get your take on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.